Hi there. I'm just popping on. I want to talk about a favorite topic of mine about how important our stories are. Each and every one of us carries the story of Christ within us, and that as we go about our lives, we need to start to repeat our stories because our stories carry power. I truly do believe that our stories are important. Each of our stories matter. It doesn't matter who you are, you have a story to tell. No matter how significant or insignificant you feel, the story of Jesus Christ in your life is remarkable. You may think that you don't have an amazing testimony. I've heard people that have been raised in Christian homes say they had nothing to tell. Their story was boring. They always just knew Jesus. I want to say, as someone who was raised in an atheist home, at best agnostic home, that sort of upbringing to me was amazing, is significant. I wish someone had offered me Jesus when I was younger. I was searching. I was asking questions from the age of 5. People are waiting for you to see them, to love them to Christ. I have testimony after testimony of people who have burst into tears when I've offered to pray for them and say to me, I thought you'd never ask me. They had been watching me for years stop for other people to pray for them, and they had just been waiting for me to go to them and ask them, can I pray for you today? So your story may just be the miracle that they would love to hear about. Your story is the one that they are waiting for. Dan McCollam of Prophetic Company says, it's no small thing to reveal the person of Jesus Christ. And that is what our stories do. And it's not just the story of when you came to Christ. It's the story of how you live it out. The little things that you take for granted, the ability to pray, to feel peace, the ability to see miracles of healing and favor. You all have stories where you've been profoundly grateful, where you've just gone, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that I know God. So I want to continue to encourage all of you, jot some of your stories down, start to share them, start to write them up and post them on social media, start to get the good news of your life with Christ shared. Write down some of your breakthroughs, those moments of seeing God in your life. They have power. They are actually a weapon. If you think about Revelation 12:11, it says, we triumph by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony. A testimony is a retelling of a state of affairs, of events. It's what lawyers get people up in court to argue a case with. They utilize people's testimony or their story to support or otherwise discredit a case. In the same way, we can use our testimony to give credit to the Christian story of Jesus Christ. And of course, Revelation 19:10, the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. There's power that goes forth as we tell our story of Jesus. Our story is a weapon. We just need to release it. So the stories are literally an invitation. It's like legal precedent. In law, we talk about legal precedent. We recite a case, which is the retelling of a story of a decision that's been made in a higher court, often to cause it to be utilized as legal precedent for others to rely upon. So in the same way, we can actually retell our stories or other people's stories and invite God to do it again. We tell stories of Jesus, and as we do, we are prophesying as to the potential in another person's life or our own life. We release life, we release hope. So release your story, because my story, your story, our stories all matter, because our stories telling of the goodness of God in our individual lives create our own history, and collectively those histories become his story. It's the story of Jesus in our time. So I just want to encourage you, tell your stories, post them. If you want to be covert in your ministry, then create stories. They don't have to mention Jesus. They'll have the breath of Jesus on them. And the fragrance and the breath of Jesus will be recognized by those that have not yet said yes to him in their lives. So tell your story, write out your story, record your story, practice telling your story, write it out in a long version, put it in a short version, write out a chronology, a date line about your story, pull your stories apart and make little mini stories and release them. Tell people about them. Let's celebrate the goodness of God, because God is good. So tell your story. We'll catch you soon. Lots of love. Bye.